If our soldiers were to deploy tomorrow to an area where a jungle environment is pertinent, then the only training that they have is going to be our jungle school. They're going to be able to rely on what they know and take that forward, and they'll be able to survive, fight, and win in the jungle. So the different phases the candidates go through for training, we start off with crawl, walk, run phase. The crawl phase is going to be your introduction to knots, the combat water survival assessment, they do the jungle 5K, they do their land navigation, basically practical skills that show us that they can get through the harder stuff throughout the course, making sure that they're not going to drown in the water, that they are in shape enough to be able to ruck. And then we kind of transition over to the survival phase where we talk about tracking, we dive deep into man-at-combat tracking, we dive deep into waterborne operations, and then the survival classes. So after survival classes, then they get a survival practical exercise for an extended period of time. And then that's kind of the second phase, and then the third phase of the course is where we tie everything together, and they go out to the jungle and they do a 3-day culminating exercise that finishes with the Green Mile. And that's moving through gulches, through up and down ridge lines, through the water, tying in rope systems. They cover roughly 30 miles in the 3 days throughout the jungle. In my opinion, the most important aspect of jungle operations training course, as far as the instruction goes and what the course provides, is the students having to endure the conditions that the jungle provide them. They're underweight, they're wet, they're not comfortable, and they are moving through terrain that they've never encountered in their life, no matter where they've been stationed at before or potentially deployed at before. And so it opens their eyes as to how slow it is to move from place to place and the amount of effort that it takes to get to where you want to go. This course is very important as a force multiplier because the more jungle qualified students that we have, or soldiers or airmen or DoD personnel wide that can come through here, the more experts that those commanders and senior leaders are going to have when we go take the fight to the enemy in a jungle environment if that day arises.